I'm making a batch of naturally fermented pickles, and I need something to keep them nice and crispy. A lot of people use oak leaves or grape leaves, and I'm down here in the south where we have wild grape, but we have definitely a lot more muscadine. Wild muscadine is a lot more common than wild grape. So we're going to be using some muscadine leaves to keep these pickles nice and crispy. Alright, so first and foremost, you need to make sure everything you're using is getting washed with soap and water, so it's nice and clean. You know, that everything needs to be washed. I mean, you may not need to wash your salt container if you're using a container for salt, but everything else, that was washed, this is washed, you know, and even down to the cucumbers. They weren't washed with soap and water, but, you know, just a rinse. I rinsed until the water ran clear. And then you're also going to need to chop off the blossom end. The blossom end is the brown little spot right there, not the stem end. The blossom end has an enzyme in it that can make the pickles get soft. So with this and the muscadine leaves together should keep these pickles nice and crispy. So before I do that though, I'm going ahead and get my water together. You need some filtered or purified water or well water. Don't use anything with chlorine in it or anything like that, because it'll kill the bacteria that's needed for the fermentation process. So a good rule of thumb for the salt water, the brine solution, is about 21 grams of a good salt that is not iodized, not got anti-caking agents in it. Try to use a standard plain salt or a sea salt. Right now I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt. I am going to pour it in and give it a mix. While I'm mixing this, we'll talk about spices and things we're adding. I'm keeping this recipe very simple and plain just because we want to test it. I'm just using some black peppercorns, garlic, and oregano. These are muscadine leaves for the tannin. Keep them crispy. Now that this is mixed up and ready to go, I'm going to get a helper over here to get these blossom ends off. Austin, you want to come help? All right, buddy. Now, do you see these two ends?
Yes, I do.
One of them is a blossom end. One of them is the stem end. You don't want to cut the stem end off. You just want to cut the blossom end. I'm going to do this one just to show you how far we want to cut it. Watch this. All right, what we're doing is just cutting about right there. See that, buddy? Cutting just the tip off, and that's it. Just the tip off. Now, careful with that knife. All right, so
that's so easy.
First, I'm going to start by dropping a couple of cloves, a couple of sprigs,
and
two muscadine leaves, and a very small handful of peppercorns. Go ahead, drop it in. All right, now put those two cucumbers you already cut in there. Now some more. I want to cut the blossom end off. Perfect. Stick that cucumber in the jar and let's move on. Here's another one, buddy. Yep. You find the right end and you be very careful. Yep. That's it. There you go, bud. One more.
Oh. Smells like pickles. Actual pickles.
Now let me see that real quick. Okay, you cut the right end off. Good job. Okay, now we're going to need another clove of garlic. One, yep. Another muscadine leaf. 2 more sprigs of oregano. Perfect. And a small handful of peppercorns.
I'll leave some for you.
Sure.
I got 3, now you got 3. I give us each 3.
Good.
Stick the knife right here. Where should we put these? Dad?
No, those are going to be trash. You can stick them in this right here.
Put them in here.
Here's another one for you, buddy.
And then we're going to cut them.
Yeah.
Is this the right one? Yep, it's the right.
There you go.
We put this, set down the knife, and you put it in there.
All right.
You never hold a knife while you're putting something.
There you go. Very good advice, Austin. You never hold a knife while you're doing something else. Very good advice.
And you cut another one?
Do another one.
Oh, if this is the right side.
Oh, you got it backwards. There you go.
That's where it wasn't cutting.
Give it a shake. All right, going good so far.
Yep.
Here's another cucumber. Also, it's very important that the type of cucumbers you use for this are firm and small cucumbers.
Now we did 9.
Yep. Here's another one. So you can go for salad cucumbers, gherkins, or just very young pickling cucumbers. Put 2 cloves of garlic, 1 leaf, and 3 sprigs of oregano. Perfect. Great, buddy. All right. Now we put the rest. All right. Here's another one.
This is so easy.
Oh, almost forgot. All right, here's our last cucumber. There you go. That brown end right there, that's actually the blossom end. You see that little brown? Yep, that's good. You cut it like that. Whatever works for you. Perfect. All right.
You need more of these?
Thank you, Austin. You want some headspace at the top of this jar. I could have fit some more in here if I had them, but not too many more. Probably would have fit 3 or 4 more in here and left a nice little spot at the top because you need to put a fermentation weight in here. You also need space for the gases to go out and anything to build up and not come out the top. Now, these are going to want to float up to the top while they're fermenting, so you need something to hold them down. I use these glass fermentation weights. Obviously, I washed it beforehand, but a lot of people just take a rock, a nice flat rock. They'll wash it with soap and water, rinse it off really well, and boil it to sterilize it. Let it cool down, and they'll use that. But I'm going to use a weight. Since I use sea salt, there's going to be some minerals at the bottom. So I'm going to give it a mix real quick, and then pour the brine. And you just want to make sure you have enough brine to submerge the pickles. It doesn't have to come all the way up to the top, but submerge it till they start floating. They've got some salt in them, so you want to get whatever you can. And I put my weight on top. Alright, that holds them down pretty good for the most part. Now I need to put something over top of it that breathes. You can put a towel over top, with a rubber band. Or you can seal the jar. Just make sure you burp it once a day. You have to just release the gases every day though, otherwise it will explode. Now you can use an airlock with this, but something very simple is a coffee filter. Now, you just want to make sure you label this so that you know how many days has passed, and I'll bring you back in about 5 to 7 days. Well, it's only been 2 days, and look at the change that has happened. These bubbles and this cloudiness, that's a really good sign. The lactobacillus bacteria is getting to work on all them goodies. This is after 4 days. Look at the difference. It is all the bubbles first off, and it is super cloudy. The pickles have faded in color. They're not such a deep green anymore. Well, the cucumbers, that color change in the water and in the pickles is a sign. So after 4 days, a lot of times it's done. You might need to go to 7, maybe 8 days, but You just need to taste it. If you like the flavor of it, stick it right in the fridge to stop the fermentation process. If you want it to be stronger, leave it out and taste it every day. Well, it's been 4 days, and I've got little Austin here. Austin, say hi.
Hey.
All right, got little Austin here to try one of these pickles.
I don't know what's gonna taste like these.
Yeah, well, you'll see, won't you? All right, let's see if we can get one of these bad boys out of here real quick without having to reach all the way in the jar. All right, got one to float up. Now, let me grab it. Look at that. Yeah, it used to just be a cucumber, but now it's a pickle. Now, let's give it a little slice.
Slice.
All right.
And if I don't like it,
go ahead.
I'm not gonna try them.
Okay, buddy, you ready? Try it.
I love it.
You love it? What do you like about it?
The texture.
The texture?
Yeah.
It's nice and crunchy? Good. Let me try a piece. Let's see. Mmm. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. One thing I'll say, it's not that strong of a flavor. I could let it go longer. I think I'm gonna let it go for another day or two and see how it goes and see if I like the taste or if Ellie likes the taste better. We'll see. All right. Thanks, buddy. Say bye.